Hi, how's it going? I would like to thank both of the parties for coming here today. And
Right. And so I'm James,
I'm Chingun.
and so a process of mediation is a process for resolving disputes of mutual intermediaries, aid conflicting parties to have conversations to jointly resolve their concerns with one another. So hopefully our goal is to maybe get this resolved in a timely fashion. But of course, mediation is not a one two-step process. We're going to cover a few steps here and kind of get the background story of both of you, and hopefully you can give us some input on where you stand. All right, so I guess we can begin with the storytelling and discussion here. Yeah.
Alright, so since Mr. Gobiashi, you had the complaints, I would like you to start telling the story first.
Well, first of all, I'm here to represent mine and my father's interests. My father is an 85-year-old man living next door to Dale Smith, and over the past month, we've been threatened. Health has been threatened. Our entire backyard landscaping has been completely ruined. Memories lost. It's just, we've had to deal with so much because of Dale Smith. First of all, he threw chemicals in our backyard, causing all of our landscaping to die. The koi fish in our pond, which has been the biggest deal for my father, to die. He's reached over into our yard and knocked over our camera. That's ours. That's vandalism. He vandalized our entire backyard. He's come over to our house even and gotten in my face and threatened me and my father. My father's an 85-year-old man. Like how could somebody not even half of his age come over and just threaten him like that? I don't know. I'm just a little concerned for my father's safety.
Right.
I don't want to have to keep coming over to somebody making him feel unsafe and disrespecting his property.
This feels like a very stressful time for you. Would you say you basically have to speak on behalf of your father?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, I have to. He can't speak English. He speaks broken English, and he can't communicate with Dale. So I'm here.
Right.
And of course, I would do anything for my father, but it's disrespectful. Like, who disrespects their elders like that?
Seems like a very time-consuming process as well.
It is.
Right. Having to kind of be the middleman in all this. Okay, so seems like a stressful time. I'd say. How long has this been going on?
I would say the past month or so.
Okay. Past month or so. All right. Anything else to cover?
What did Mr. Smith exactly do then? If you can specify on that.
First of all, some sort of substance was either leaked or thrown into our backyard, causing my 6 rose bushes, my apple, cherry, and lemon tree to die. They've been there for years, since I was a child. Our koi fish in our pond to die. This has even caused my father to have to go to the hospital and get his eyes checked. They're fine, thank goodness, but who knows? If anything had happened to his eyes, we would not be here right now.
Mr. Smith, if you will, we're going to have Mr. Gobayashi give us the full story.
Excuse me, this is my time.
I see that you are obviously uncomfortable. We will get your story as well.
Then, for safety reasons, my father has cameras up in his backyard, and Dale feels the need to reach over and knock one of them over, breaking it. It's broken. So that's going to need to be replaced. He's also come over to our garage, and he's gotten in my face and threatened me, and that was when I had it. That was it. So here we are.
Has the whole vandalism issue been addressed with one another, or has that not been discussed between both of you?
No.
Oh, I've been charged and arrested.
Okay, Mr. Smith, we will get to you soon, so very shortly.
He refuses to take responsibility for it. So that's why we're here.
Okay, Mr. Gorbash, we understand your concern about your father. Of course, we have parents too, and we understand your concern. And thank you for being here representing your father who can't speak English. Mrs. Smith, if you will, would you please tell us your side of the story?
First of all, I have nothing against my neighbor, Mr. Yobiyashi. I have something against his son.
Okay.
Mr. Yobayashi has done nothing to me. I've done nothing to him. It's just his son has been antagonizing me. For some reason, I was arrested in charge of drugs because I thought I was a drug dealer.
Okay, that wasn't us. I know you think that. That was not
Mr.
us.
Kobayashi, please. We will get to you in a second.
Fine.
That's
First, Mrs.
just
Smith.
one thing. And apparently, they're talking about the camera situation. Imagine a camera being pointed to you inside your bathroom. That's an invasion of privacy, and that made me crazy.
Okay, that's an exaggeration.
So, I got what any normal person would do. I got a broom, and I turned it, and I guess it fell. But at the end of the day, that's an invasion of my privacy. I can sue you for invading my privacy. And as opposed to the chemicals, I don't understand how Roundup weed killer can kill entire trees. That makes no sense. Like, literally none. I don't see how it killed fish when it's just a little puddle. I didn't see any fish this whole time. And another thing about the me getting in his face, I stepped into his yard to go talk to Mr. Yobayashi, not Sato.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does kicks and flips in front of my face. Like, I literally was about to lose and punch him in his face. But I had to think about the consequences.
Did you feel those flips were aimed at you?
Yes!
Okay.
This is not a karate movie.
Okay.
He's not Jet Li or Bruce Lee. And it's like, it's not my fault that his father can't speak English. He speaks some Asian language under his breath and muddles, and I don't know what he's saying. He could be threatening me, I don't care, but at the end of the day, I have nothing against Mr. Yobayashi. I have something against his son.
Okay.
And this is why I'm here. I've been charged with vandalism by him, not Mr. Yobayashi.
Okay. Have you had any prior interactions with Mr. Kobayashi's father?
Yeah, every time I see him, since he doesn't speak English, he just muddles some Asian language. I don't know what it is under his breath. And other than that, I just feel like all these incidents have happened ever since Sato stepped in.
Mm-hmm. Did you consult Mr. Kobayashi when you
Yeah.
sprayed the weed killer?
I tried, and then I went to their door, and then they slammed it in my face. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, I feel like Mr. Yobayashi is the puppet, and Sato is the puppeteer.
So you have tried to consult him before spraying the weed
Yeah.
killer?
I mean, I sprayed the weed killer in my yard to kill weeds, and there's no reason that I should be killing multiple plants. Like, it's a weed killer, not a lemon tree killer.
Well, then why did it happen?
A fish killer? That makes no sense, and that is crazy and ludicrous.
Do you think it is possible that a wind could blow the vapor into his yard and possibly kill some of his plants?
It's possible that it can fly over, but it would just kill weeds. It's designed to kill weeds. You see the commercials? Roundup weed killer, you just spray it on the weeds and it dies. It doesn't kill plants. Like, that's crazy. That's just like you charging me for vandalism, something I didn't do. Does that sound crazy?
But
That's
you did.
crazy.
You did do it. There's no
What
correlation.
vandalism?
There's just no correlation
See-
between the weed killer and the trees dying.
There is
Oh my
literally
God,
no
are you
correlation.
serious?
Mr. Kobayashi and Mrs. Smith, please.
And I'm telling you, it's just him that's antagonizing it. Mr. Yobayashi, it doesn't say anything. It's Sato and his puppeteering. It is pissing me off.
Alright.
I have too much stuff going on, and you're tripping about some plants that had nothing to do with me. It's Roundup weed killer, not Roundup tree, fish, and etc. killer.
I have a rebuttal.
Mr. Kobayashi, if you will, can you please tell me the significance of these plants and the pond to you?
Half
Why
of
is
those
it so
trees,
important to
the
you?
cherry tree, the lemon tree, the apple tree, were over 10 years old. They've been there for years. That backyard is important to my family. And the most important aspect of that backyard was she's not even paying attention. What are you doing over there? Texting?
God.
The most
At the end of the day,
important
they're
aspect.
spying
The
on
most important aspect
me. Is that you're spying
was
on
the
me.
koi fish pond. My father is devastated. He is devastated because those koi fish are dead. It was a family tradition. Every year we would buy my mother a koi fish. Now they're dead.
Of course.
You wouldn't understand.
Mr. Smith, would you please respect
Just respect your
Mr.
elders.
Kobayashi
That's all.
and
That's
Mr.
it.
Kobayashi?
And yes.
You too, please.
Me as well.
We need
How about we
mutual-
respect us
Respect
as
me.
Americans and speak English? Maybe if your father spoke English, maybe this whole thing wouldn't be happening. I mean, you get what I'm saying, right?
This is what I'm talking about.
Please settle
no
down.
respect.
Please settle down. I think now will be a perfect time to speak with one of you individually.
I feel that we didn't get a lot out of it.
Are we going to speak in Asian or are we speaking in English?
Asian isn't a language.
I believe we don't speak Asian either, but
Yeah,
we can speak English.
We will
with
speak
everybody,
in
so.
any communication we can.
Because this is America,
This is America.
and we
Correct.
speak. It's not my fault. Her father lived
that's why
X
I'm
amount
here.
of years in here and can't speak a lick of English. What would I do in Asia and not speak a lick of Asian?
All right.
Probably get in an argument with your neighbor.
Please.
All right. So I feel, Mr. Smith, you have a lot on your mind. So I feel we should have a one-on-one conversation to kind of get a little backstory here. So, Mr. Kobayashi, if you will, if you don't mind, we'll
No, not a
with
problem.
you shortly.
Not a problem.
We'll signal you in once we're all done here.
Thank you.
Alright. Okay, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
We would like some background story on just how this all started.
It did randomly started, honestly. Like I said, they're spying on me.
Okay, and by spying you mean
The camera was
Camera, okay.
pointed at me, and then somehow miraculously I get arrested for being a drug dealer.
So the camera being pointed at you and you being charged as a drug dealer has violated your trust with your neighbors. You would say?
Of course. I mean, I don't trust them. They're spying on me. They're like the freaking NSA.
Of course. So also the
Freaking
camera.
ninjas, man. They're the ninjas. I don't get it.
So the camera pointing at your house. Would you say already? You said it invaded your privacy, right?
Yes, that is crazy.
So did that make you feel safe?
No, it did not make me feel safe. What do you mean? I mean, if I can just get charged randomly for being a drug dealer, what do I need to sell drugs for?
Of course.
Like, although I'm divorced now and she took the kids, I don't need to sell drugs.
Gotcha. Do you know for a fact if Mr. Kobayashi and his father had called the authorities on
I know for a fact they did. Honestly, since Mr. Yobiyashi can't speak English, I'm telling you, it's Sato that's planning all this stuff. Like, literally planning everything. He's the puppeteer in this whole shindig.
So, Mr. Smith, so from what I've gathered, it seems as if you had made it put forth the effort in terms of being able
Yeah,
to
like I said, when I went to go
Speak.
knock, when I went to go knock on their door because they said that I killed their plants, but it was a Roundup weed killer. I was willing to give them $500 and help them find a landscaper because I know a landscaper that can do it for cheap. Like, okay, if I killed your plants, okay, I'm trying to improve our relationship together. Like, that's all I want is to have a better relationship.
So you'd be more than sorry there. Would you be more than willing to basically pay for the expenses and have a landscaper come
I
by?
tried to do that.
Okay, because that's definitely an option. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
then they slammed the door on me. So it's like, is my American money not good to their Asian money? Like, I don't get it.
So you would feel that you felt disrespected.
Yes.
Because of the cultural differences and the non-understanding, misunderstanding of each other.
Yeah.
Of course, we can understand that.
It definitely seems to be a misunderstanding on both parts.
And you also feel that Mr. Kobayashi doesn't understand you, or his son, that they do not understand your position.
No, I'm telling you, it's more Sato than anything. Like, I came to their yard, I came into their parking lot, their garage, and here's Sato doing freaking Jet Li move, crouching tiger, hidden dragon kicks and stuff in my face.
That was a good one.
Like, that was crazy. I felt unsafe. I was about to punch him in his face.
That's a good thing.
I had to hold back.
That's a good thing you did because they are trying to press criminal charges if this isn't resolved. So it's good that we try to meet somewhere in between, find some common ground.
I'm just like, where are the vandalism charges coming from? I'm not a teenager. I didn't spray paint their house and say go back to Asia. That's vandalism.
Ms. Smith, if you don't mind, what object did you use to tap the camera on the
It was a broom handle.
Okay.
If I can reach a broom handle from my bathroom to their house, that's invasion of privacy. That's too close, and it's pointed right in my bathroom. Imagine if my kids were there.
So would you say that made you feel like you didn't belong as a neighbor next to Mr. Garbayashi?
It's not necessarily me not belonging. I mean, I definitely belong here.
Mm-hmm.
I pay mortgage here.
Of course. But did it make you feel like it was not a safe space for you? Like you did not have a neighbor who was cooperative with you?
Yeah, I didn't feel safe. Like I said, I didn't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily be like belong there. I know I belong there. He doesn't belong there.
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors don't do that to people. I don't know if that's some Asian custom, but that's not an American custom.
Did you feel that you might have been able to address the issue with the authorities before you had reached the broomstick over? Because I can see that's probably where they started to file for vandalism since it was property.
Imagine if you were in my shoes. There's a camera pointed right in your bathroom. What would you do? Would you keep it there and like, oh my God, police? There's a camera pointing me in the bathroom. No, you'll handle that as soon as possible.
I'll probably keep
we can
towel on.
definitely understand your invasion of privacy. We can definitely understand
Right.
your point of view. Where are you coming from?
So there's definitely a sense of safety. You're not feeling safe.
Definitely.
Mr. Smith, I feel that
I just don't want nothing to do with Sato. I can deal with Mr. Yobayashi.
of course.
It's just Sato is the one that's...
Would that have a lot to do with the fact that he doesn't speak any English at all? It seems to be a lot easier to deal with. Is this or
Duh. I mean, where are we at?
Mm-hmm.
We're in America. Speak English.
All right, so Mr. Smith, we understand your whole situation about what happened. I would like you to tell me a little background on you. So how have you been? What have you been going through?
I've been really stressed, man. I mean, minus the random arrest, I'm going through some stuff too. I mean, like I said, my wife divorced me. She took the kids. And then all of a sudden I lost my job. And it's kind of hard, you know? Like I'm saying, like I'm stressed and all I want to do is kill some weeds.
So you feel very stressed from losing...
Yeah, I'm stressed as
Losing
have
your job and not having the wife or the ex-wife now and the kids.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm stressed as hell, and I feel like as a father, I feel like I have to have my kids' safety too, and having cameras pointed at our bathroom.
That was almost a cherry on top of you,
Yeah.
so to speak, right?
It just pissed me off, and all of a sudden I'm just like stressed. I'm over it. I'm over it, and to the point where, like I said, when he was kicking at me, I was gonna punch him in his face. That's when I lost it.
Of course. So would you say that display of the kicks, how did that make you feel?
Threatened.
Threatened?
It
not
made me
safe,
feel
disrespected? Would you say?
disrespected. I was definitely angry.
There's definitely a question of safety there.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
if
was
you
just
got close with the
I
flying
just
kicks
felt
and
like
whatnot.
I think that I had to defend myself. That's what was going through my mind. You have to defend yourself, Dale. You better punch him in the face.
Oh, is that what was going on in your head?
Yes,
Right.
that was definitely going on in my head. Like, it was defense mode.
That can definitely be understood.
Yeah. That's a very good thing that you didn't punch him because that would have made matters worse.
Yeah, and I know the DA is, like, trying to do all the stuff. It's just, they're making a huge deal out of nothing that I didn't do. If anything, I feel betrayed that they called the police on me for being a drug dealer.
So with everything that's been taking place, Mr. Smith, with the whole weed killer and the roundup, did you feel that there was an excess of weed killer that had used, or what exactly how much had you had used from what you?
I just got the weed killer from a regular Home Depot or whatever.
Right.
And there's some weeds in my yard. I needed to kill them, so I killed them. And that's what it's for. Look at the title. It doesn't say tree killer. And it definitely does not say koi fish killer. And if anything, a koi fish pond is a freaking puddle. It's a puddle.
I guess we're in a drought. So
Yeah, it's a puddle. It's not a pond. I didn't see no fish.
Right.
So it's almost comical. It can't possibly be me that killed all that stuff.
Right.
Come on now. That makes no sense.
Was Mr. Gobiyashi the only neighbor that was affected by this? How about
That I know of.
Okay.
He's the only one that came to me.
Okay. That'll help us get a better understanding.
Yeah,
Exactly
no
what's
other neighbors
affected
came
it.
to me.
Gotcha. So,
All right, Mr. Smith. So, do you have any? We fully understand everything you said. We fully understand your concerns, how you felt, how you didn't feel safe, how you felt betrayed, how you felt disrespected. We understand everything. Do you have anything else that you would like to address?
yeah, was there anything that we had missed here in terms cover any needs or concerns you may have, other than
Then the
I
ones
just
you mentioned.
want
problems that
our relationship to get better, but I don't believe it's going to be with Seda.
Mhm.
Do you feel it's a possibility that you might be able to establish a sense of trust in the future if we can at least take the process?
Trust, put the damn camera down
Mhm.
and don't point it in my yard.
Okay. Mr. Smith, with this, we would like to invite Mr. Kobayashi back in, and we would like to ask you to step out the room, please.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We'll let you know when we are all set to bring you both back in. Mr. Kobayashi, thank you for waiting.
Hello, no
And I
problem.
know you had gotten some coffee. It's good.
Yes, of course.
Alright. So from here, we had spoken with Mr. Smith, and now we want to get the background of your story of actually how this kind of escalated to where it's at
Yes.
now. So please feel free to elaborate on that.
So I want to point out that I think I focused maybe too much on the incidents that occurred and not enough on the really important factor here, and that was pretty much the pond and the koi fish, and secondary the landscaping in the backyard. My father is devastated ever since the koi fish died. That was the last, living memory that we had of our mother, and just losing that felt like losing her all over again. And it's been really tough. And seeing Dale treat my father with a lack of respect, it breaks my heart. He's 86 years old and he can't speak English, so they can't communicate, and it just seems like there's so much hostility on Dale's end that of course I want to hop in there and defend my father.
Do you feel obligated that you're probably one of the few people that can actually be there?
Yes,
for your father?
I feel like I'm the only voice that he has, so of course I want to put it all in there. It's it's hard for me to get time off work. The doctor, I didn't really want to point that out.
Okay. It's definitely confidential.
Yes, thank you. So it's hard for me to get time off, and it's hard for me to come all the way out here, and of course I'm happy to do it for my father, but it's been really hard, and I can tell it's wearing on him.
So so I can understand that you are concerned about your father's safety,
Yes,
and you also feel that you have been disrespected by Mr. Smith.
yes.
I mean, yes.
Yes. I if he could promise to make no further threats towards my father, and if he could just replace the damages to the backyard, I would consider dropping the charges.
So do you trust Mr. Smith to comply to those needs if we work something out?
I don't think that's up to me. I think it's entirely up to him.
Okay.
The DA calculated the damages to my property, or my father's property, at $3,500, and I don't want the money, but I would like him to learn a lesson and just hire somebody himself and get it done. I don't want any money. I just want things to go back to normal for my father, because that's what's keeping him happy.
Do you believe that your father feels a sense of belonging in the community?
My father, I don't think so. I mean, I think he does in his family, but not necessarily in the community, because people like Dale who refuse to communicate, or at least learn to communicate, there's a communication gap there, and
Of course.
I'm sure my father isn't the easiest person to communicate, obviously. He can't speak English, he's older, but I don't know, I think belonging is probably an issue for him.
There's definitely a misunderstanding
A huge
taking place,
misunderstanding,
right?
yes,
And
yeah.
Of course.
So can you elaborate more on what the koi pond and the trees mean to you?
The significance.
The
of
significance?
Because we feel that it is more than just
Than just a koi
and
pond,
a
yes.
tree.
That was
was
everything to my father.
Mhm.
He'd go outside, he'd feed them daily, he'd sit by them,
I'm sure you had them for a long time.
very long time. They lived for quite a while, so they've really been all we have to remember my mother by, and it's been more of a emotional loss than a real physical loss of the backyard, I think in order to mend that, it would just be replacing the backyard. I mean, obviously, we've talked to landscapers, and the pond can't be replaced because of the chemical damage, but it would just mean a lot to my father and I if we could just get some sort of sense of normality back in our family.
we're very sorry about your loss,
Thank you.
and we definitely understand the significance behind that, the emotional significance behind
Yes,
ponds
exactly.
and trees.
Seems to definitely take an emotional toll on both you and your father. I'm sure he's approaching his later years in life.
Yes.
Would you say that the koi fish and pond is probably, I mean, this can't be replaced, obviously, but if there was some type of, is compensation more of a secondary kind of feel to you? It's not really a priority? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's definitely secondary. I think respect and no more threats
No more threats.
on
Okay.
our property, on either property, really.
Mhm.
I think it should be mutual,
Mhm.
and I would just love for things to go back to normal.
Right.
We definitely.
I also wanted to point out that he thinks that we called the narcotics police
That's a
on
good point you
him,
bring up, right?
but we didn't, and I knew as soon as it happened that he would think that.
Mm.
So I just wanted to point that out. I can apologize for it later. I don't know, but I don't know if that would even make a difference
Right.
at this point.
So you and father had nothing to do with
No,
calling
we had
it.
absolutely
Okay.
nothing to do with it.
Okay.
These charges, though, we had obviously everything to do with
Right,
that.
right, I got you. That seems to clear the air quite a bit, I would say, for you and Mr. Smith, because I
Yes.
think you didn't backlog calls, you never made any phone calls to the authorities.
Yes.
That would create some sense of, at least a better understanding between both you and Mr. Smith.
I
think
agree.
That,
Yeah.
that might actually make a huge difference.
So I think that's some sort of unnecessary anger between the two of us. I mean, we can be angry about the camera, the koi pond, whatever, but that one I just wanted to clear up.
Right, right.
So, I would like to ask you about your father's use of the camera that was used. Can you elaborate on that?
My father's an old man. He he wants to feel a little bit safe. He lives there by himself. He has cameras up, I didn't know that he had it pointed to the backyard of Mr. Smith, but
the bathroom of his, right?
yes, exactly. But I wasn't aware. I still don't think that warrants him to be able to lean over and knock it over. That's still vandalism. It's still illegal. Like, I can understand if maybe he tried to communicate with my father and maybe it didn't work, but I don't know, call the cops or something and have them try to communicate to my grandfather.
Have them straighten it out as opposed to
Yeah,
take
exactly.
measures,
Instead,
means.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. That's just it's just not right. It's illegal. So
Okay, Mr. Gobiashi, we understand your father's position in the neighborhood as well as the disrespect and the threats he has received, and we understand the emotional value loss of the ponds and the trees. Do you have anything else to address?
Yeah, was there anything that we had missed that in terms of concerns or thoughts or feelings you may want to get off?
no, I think mostly I just want to reiterate the fact that I don't want any money. I do want things to go back to normal though, and I would like there to be no more threats.
It seems to be a very common goal in most mediations
Yes.
that we have
Of course.
done in the past. Normality is definitely a huge part of it.
Yes, exactly.
For it to escalate to that point. Just one last thing I wanted to say. I feel that we did cover a lot of good information. I feel that if you were to retell the story or to Mr. Smith and actually,
Do you think I should apologize for the?
and that's entirely up to
That's
you.
entirely up to you,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt, but I feel that if you at least address the issues of what you had to endure and everything in terms of calling the authorities, it seems to be a really hot topic for Mr.
him.
Smith. Yeah,
Probably where the anger stems.
I would
from.
say so. I would say so. That would definitely do a lot to help kind of progress mediation in the right direction.
Alright, so with this, we'd like to invite Mrs. Smith back, and when you guys get back, I want both of you to not talk and just listen to us, and we will reward your stories to each other.
All right, perfect. So I'll go ahead and grab Mr. Smith here.
Hello.
How's it going? Alright, so Mr. Smith, I would like you to not talk and just listen to us now, and Mr. Gobiashi will not talk either. So I will summarize Mr. Gobiashi's side to you, and my associate over here will summarize your side to Mr. Gobiashi.
Okay.
I will start. So Mr. Gobiashi has, obviously he's an old man who doesn't speak English, so he doesn't have that communication power that you have. So and he has different cultural values from you. So it is understandable that there are different cultural values. So he feels a small sense of belonging in the community as well as being a neighbor, since he can't communicate with you. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's probably why Sato is here.
Of course. And Mr. Kobayashi, actually, the sentimental value behind the pond is due to losing his wife. That koi fish, he got it because he lost his wife. And the trees, it was there for a very long time. And losing all that, it has hit him emotionally very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to understand the sentimental value behind what he has lost.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
And as for the weed killer you sprayed, it was sprayed in your backyard. I definitely understand that it was on your property, yes. But there are such factors such as nature, like wind and other things that could cause it to spill over and cause damages. And we do not know what weed killers exactly do. I mean, that's what they say it does, but it could have more toxins in there that could kill other things too. And we can agree with that also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Mr. Kobayashi is also an old man who lives by himself. His son isn't always around. And so he necessarily doesn't feel safe all the time since he, as we mentioned before, he doesn't have such communication powers such as you. So he feels a very low sense of safety ever since these things have been happening.
Mm-hmm.
And with all this, that's all the things I could sum up from Mr. Kobayashi's side. Do you have anything else to address, Mr. Kobayashi?
I wanted to add that we were not the people to call the narcotics police or cops on your house. I know that you think that, but that's one thing that we had nothing to do with.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kobayashi.
Okay.
And if you will, associate.
Okay, so Mr. Kobayashi, so we had a lot to discuss with Mr. Smith when we did our one-on-one, and we feel that there's a lot that Mr. Smith's actually going through. So he was obviously not intending. His intention was not to just wreck any type of forestry, plants, and the neighbors. He probably had the mindset of keeping it contained, but we know that that's not always the case. He is actually going through quite a bit of his family as well. Mr. Smith has lost the wife, and the kids are moved out of town, so custody is also an issue. Custody battles and whatnot, it's never easy going through that. We feel that there was a lot of misunderstanding between you both. He did seem to genuinely want to apologize to both you and your father. I feel that that's where I feel a lot of anger had probably built up over time, and that made it really difficult to see each other face to face, which is understandable, which is why mediation is as significant as it is nowadays in resolving conflict. But other than that, we also feel that the vandalism issue was most likely out of anger too. Wasn't intended to break the camera. Ms. Smith had stated that did want to just change the direction of it so it wasn't pointed at the bathroom. Was there anything else, Mr. Smith, that we wanted to...
I was willing to pay $500 for the damages and help you find a contractor that I know that can do it for cheap.
Or a landscaper.
Yeah, landscaper.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
because if it did happen, then okay, I was gonna take responsibility and pay $500 and then help you find a landscaper to fix that stuff.
That seems to be a possible solution. If you both want to
I just
agree
don't.
on
My main goal is just the privacy aspect of it. Like I felt
Of course.
my privacy was.
Mr. Kobayashi understands that the point of the camera at you could feel your invasion of your privacy, right?
And Mr. Baham, how does it feel to you that Mr. Kobayashi and his father did not call the authorities? Does that make you feel a little more comfortable with the fact that they went
I
out
feel
to
relieved
apprehend you?
because that was it was a huge trust thing for me. I didn't trust him at all because prior to this altercation, me and Mr. Kobayashi never spoke.
I'm sure very few words were.
Yeah, we actually never spoke.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a neighbor who never spoke, and then all of a sudden, it went really fast, really soon.
Did you feel kind of blindsided by the whole?
Yeah, I felt blind.
All the events that.
It was
took place?
more of not really blindsided. I felt it was really a shocking moment for me. Like I said, it was just a huge trust issue thing. Like I didn't trust him after that. Like obviously you don't speak English. I can't trust that. So I can't trust that you're not saying stuff behind my back. And I definitely can't trust the fact that there's cameras in my house, and then the police was called, but now I know it wasn't you guys. It was like I said, trust was a huge thing for me.
And you also understand that in the Asian culture, that martial arts is a regular thing, and that the kicks and the stuff was not to threaten or to make you feel not safe and to disrespect you.
Yes.
I definitely felt threatened.
But you can see
I
how
was scared for sure.
You can definitely see how the different cultural values
More of a tradition.
make you think
Yes.
different things. Of course.
In our culture, it was defend, flight, or fight.
Of course, but in their
And-
culture, it's more of an art, an exercise.
It's more of an exercise. Exactly. Didn't mean it to intimidate or harm.
I would say it is a good thing that both of you did not actually engage in physical contact with each
It's a
other.
very good
That's-
thing.
Yeah,
that's-
it would have been all. It would have been. I would have got arrested again. Another prior, another notch on my belt.
yeah, mediation would not have been able to solve any
No,
black guys
I would've got
there, so-
another-
And I would also like Mr. Grobiashi to understand that Mrs. Smith has been also going through a hard time. Would you please reiterate on that, Mrs. Smith?
Hi, how this room reserved? Okay, we'll be on just a minute.
I think we're good now.
Okay.
Because we only had to go through 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and just cut it off somewhere. I think we're good now.
Okay, do you want to do the
Deeper.
Now we really need to settle
Yeah.
it, right?
Okay, we can. Should we stop? And
Yeah, let's stop.
you know, there's a brief.
what do you think worked
Oh.
about? Like, what do you think worked as far as
Like
us
questioning.
being parties and stuff?
I think it really worked out, just having some good insight on the backstory. Playing the character really helped out, the fact that you're really able to get your inner feelings of the character out and
Yeah.
open.
I think the more that we studied the character, the more we were able to actually put our own
Right.
emotions and
Right,
thoughts into it.
exactly, yeah. Kind of like putting ourselves in that position for actually being in that
Actually,
position.
yeah, being actually in that situation.
Yeah.
And since we like didn't know your sides and like more you guys talked, like more we went
more
in
you
depth and we had, like broke it down into the bursts. And
Yeah.
then from there we could like chop it up into pieces and deal with it.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, like, I still think that it's this, like, little mock thing is just so real, like, unrealistic.
I know.
Oh,
I
right.
feel like it
still
wouldn't
feels
be
forced
so.
and,
Yeah,
like,
it feels like really forced.
Yeah.
Right, right.
I feel
like-
like it's easier to be the actors than
Yeah.
the mediators too.
Exactly, I'd say so.
So, because
Yeah.
I feel like being a mediator, I'm like questioning everything I'm saying as it's coming out of my
Yeah,
mouth.
because
kind
like
of
you guys are
repeating it
playing
too,
on
yeah.
us. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like whatever the actors do, you guys have to. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
like,
now we have to
Or
react.
match the
exactly.
intensity if needed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
I can't see myself doing that, but we should try that in the future.
Yeah. Like, oh, I see you're feeling this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Try to do that.
I liked how after the what do you call it, caucus?
Yeah.
After when we were all brought in, how you kind of like summarized each person's.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was really good. I didn't. That
come
coming
Yeah, I
for a
didn't see
loop.
that. I know. I didn't see that.
That was like
coming.
improv, you know.
That was good, but there's a bad side to it of spilling your guys' like
Secrets.
private,
Yeah.
Right.
the private things to
confidential.
talk with. Like I didn't ask for your permission to like spill it out, and I
Yeah.
did it.
I like that
Okay,
method.
well, I mean,
I
next
could've
time
done it
you
better.
could say like, okay,
Yeah.
well, do you have permission
I
for
could
me
have
to?
done it better. Be like,
It's okay.
oh, can you talk about this part specifically?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
Or you
was-
can restate it beforehand and be like, is it okay if I say
Yeah.
this to the other party?
That was all right.
Yeah, but this
That
time,
was cool, yeah.
that was really good. But this time, like we actually did talk about bursts. And
Yeah,
we did,
exactly.
we
That
did.
was cool.
Yeah.
I'd say it was really good to kind of have both of you tell your stories to each other. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the best way to get to a resolution because you're hearing it from each other. You're not saying it's now flying kicks and
Yeah.
then there's
It's
no
like
person
this is
slaying
my
others.
burst.
Yeah.
I feel
This is
you
my
have to
burst.
be
Oh my
alert.
God.
Yeah,
alone.
we can definitely
You don't
reward.
understand me.
I need to be respected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no safety in my
There's no safety.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the trust?
And I don't trust you either.
Yeah, everything.
It covers
No understanding.
Right.
We can definitely, the mediators can definitely reward everything in a non-attacking manner.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was using a lot of poison.
Yeah, and
Right.
Yeah, we could
Yeah, I was
right,
waiting
yeah,
for you guys
filter
to
out
like,
the
so, like,
poison.
yeah, stop the poison.
I know you were doing that really well too.
That was,
Like,
that was good.
I was
know,
like,
we
she
did
kept throwing it out, and I was like, speaking Asian. And I was like, you don't
Yeah.
speak
Right,
Asian.
you don't speak it.
I was like, but we can do English though.
Yeah,
You do English.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we
Yeah.
don't speak Asian, but
Yeah.
That's great. No, that was good. Yeah, we should have kind of said, oh, okay, what's the best way to contain the poison? He said to
I
kind
see
of-
there's like a cultural
Just build
Cultural
difference.
difference. Okay.
He
Yeah.
said, just be like,
uh-huh.
That's what we're doing.
Sure.
Just like, mhm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
I
Yeah.
do, right.
That there's like cultural differences between
Yeah.
you two.
Yeah.
But
I remember he did state that we had to kind of limit the poison as much because they feel that the person giving the poison can get away with it.
yeah,
and
that's why I kept throwing it. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Kept her in the back.
Throwing it out there, yeah.
And then the person that's getting the poison is kind of like not
Well, hello.
protected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
I
right.
feel like compared to like what you had with us, yours was like a little bit out of control at moments. I was like, how are we gonna calm them down?
How are we gonna come?
I know, right? I
know.
was trying to like.
I know. I
prepare
kept
myself.
interrupting, and I was like waiting for you guys to be like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
Even when I did that, I felt like sometimes like I don't have like the authority.
Authority to do
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
just
I
like.
It's like, how
Because there's a
People
right and a
stop
wrong way
that.
to say it. Yeah, you can't just be like, "Excuse me," because then they feel attacked, even though they're the ones doing the attacking. But you
Part
have
of
to say it like, "Excuse
Yeah.
me, you need to respect the person speaking,"
Right,
because
and
that's
kind
what
of
they
go on.
deserve. Yeah.
A part of me wanted to see it play out because I feel, besides the fact that it's entertaining, but I was
Oh,
wanted to see,
yeah. I did want to play
Right.
out.
Yeah,
I know.
Get some emotions out.
get it all out
Yeah,
there, and then just
exactly.
give it a
Get it all
caucus.
out.
Yeah,
Then we can
Yeah.
do it.
exactly. Because getting it out does a lot, and it's kind of
Yeah.
venting, not bottling it up.
I
all
like
day.
how you guys also like. I mean, I'm pretty sure we probably did this too, but like how you guys like really appealed to like the emotional side to each person. Like, well, did you know that Dale's going through a hard time with his family?
Right. I feel like
Yeah.
that was the key.
You know, yeah, because then
yeah,
it's like
exactly.
understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
totally
family
Highlight
support.
understanding.
So,
Yeah,
sympathy.
sympathy,
Yeah.
empathy,
Yeah,
exactly.
it was we definitely hit that point.
Yeah.
As soon as we hit that, like both sides like loosened up a little bit, and
Yeah,
it was more
exactly.
likely
It's
to
more like understanding.
compromise.
Yeah.
It's funny, the first time around I thought it was mainly understanding, respect was the biggest thing. And then afterwards I'm thinking they all pretty much apply to belonging, maybe not as much, but everything
Yeah.
else is
Yeah.
definitely there. Belonging can still make a case for it
Yeah.
too, but
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't
The rest
know
of it.
like what could be belonging.
I know,
Oh,
when you guys
yeah,
brought
yeah.
belonging
You were
about
like,
my father,
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just like,
yeah.
oh, okay. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
I can see
like
what
this
that
isn't about
means.
me,
We
this is
belong
about
in the
him.
in the
community.
community
Yeah.
as neighbors,
Yeah.
we can coexist
Yeah,
with each other.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't think we hit that point with you pretty well, like
Yeah.
belonging.
Yeah, but I mean,
Or like maybe it wasn't there.
Yeah, I was like, I don't. I mean, I'm
I mean, I guess you
American.
could have
I
stretched
live
for
here.
it, but like, yeah.
That's America.
America, just America.
We definitely could have worded that better to like hit that point of belonging.
Right,
Yeah.
I was looking at it, I was thinking, man, all these other ones.
I mean, you
have so
could have,
much
but
more
you
to
hit,
come.
you hit everything else, I think.
Right.
Like, you
For
hit
the most part, yeah.
understanding,
For the
you hit
most part,
safety,
it was,
respect.
Trust,
Yeah,
position,
yeah.
yeah.
You hit it all pretty on, like, on the nail. Okay.
I wanted to try to ask that trust question a few times. Like, do you feel that trust is something you both can reach?
I noticed
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try that again. Like towards the end, it's like I think we can.
I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
reach something.
Yeah.
There's a possibility.
There's a
Yeah.
little, yeah.
No, I like how you were doing that. Like, like in the end, would you like still want to be a good neighbor? Is that something you want to get back?
Mhm.
And you had like a end point for them,
Right,
basically,
right,
like
right.
something to aim for.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's what Dale wanted. Like he was like, he would wish that you can get back to normal. Like he, as a
Wait,
good
did
gesture.
it say that on Dale's like thing? There were
Yeah.
some things on Dale's that didn't show up on.
Oh,
the
yeah,
options.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's like that on
Like the
purpose.
slamming the
It's
door.
like that on
I didn't like
purpose.
that. The slamming
Yeah.
the door in the face. I was just
Yeah.
like,
I mean, that's like
I was
more.
like,
oh,
that.
I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
know.
like real life though, because some people don't
Or
see.
they like forget.
Yeah.
Or they don't say
He wanted
things.
to be
Yeah.
like that, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
makes
think
sense.
it-
I thought that was
it's
like an accident. I was
Right,
like,
right, right.
And, like,
yeah.
The thing about each of your like family side, it wasn't written in each of your side either, so like,
Mhm.
you didn't know that.
It was like really vague, and it was like
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like
or
apparently
Yeah.
Dale had like priors. Like he didn't want another
Oh, see, I didn't know
record.
that.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
He
Yeah,
was like,
that's right.
I'm kind of scared to do
Yeah,
this.
you said
but-
that in the thing, and I was like, oh shit. She's
Yeah.
already
I don't want
on
another.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And once we like,
Charge
once
on
we
it.
like picked out what you did and didn't know, then we could like.
Yeah, I
effectively
guess
yeah,
communicate.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
I
like,
guess
knock
that's
down
like
the
the
walls
thing
and
of
stuff,
the
you know.
mock, so we don't know everything.
Everything.
Right.
But it's like it's so ambiguous that you can make
It is.
it do anything,
I think
which
that's
is
kind
kind
of
weird.
Exactly.
It's like
video
too
of it.
much.
Yeah.
Too much like
You're like, whoa, what?
Do,
Yeah.
you can literally do anything with
Yeah.
all of it, so it's kind of like,
we can literally just be silent for like 5 minutes
Yeah.
or like 20 minutes.
I was like, I could just get up right now and leave.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then how
I know.
will we not get graded? I don't know.
I know, come back in and
I
be like,
think,
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When we started out, like we let one side talk for too long, and while the other side is getting really impatient. And I think we should have done what we could have done better. Is like, oh, you talk.
Oh, like
It's
I'll go
okay.
back
Now
and
you
forth?
talk back. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you like kind of a response sort of thing,
But-
but
like without
response
actually
to us,
responding.
yeah,
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 exactly.
But
Yeah.
because
Kind of like a
we should've
rebuttal.
done
Like
Yeah.
each issue response
Yeah.
back, like when
Yeah.
you talk about the
'Cause when you-
vandalism, like I didn't vandalize.
And then
Yeah.
talk about something else. And then
Right.
defend,
when you
yeah.
start out and one person talks for too long, the other person feels like we're not neutral no more.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that
Kind
makes
of point
sense.
favoritism. Yeah. Just
That
letting
was-
it.
that's
Kind of
what
like
we could've done
evenly
better.
like go back and forth instead of one long one.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like minute and a half for you, minute and a half for you.
Yeah, that seems about right.
That would have been good.
That would have been better, but we did alright.
Yeah, I think overall it went better than last time too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Like the last set.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Cause that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, well we were.
with the whole.
The mediators
camera
didn't
thing.
have notes. to
Yeah, I
read.
know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
Well, now we
just
know.
mediate.
Fresh in our mind,
Just
yeah.
mediate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just read it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
it was. I feel like we did better. We definitely improved.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And there's always room for improvement too, because
Yeah.
we're not
Not
mediators.
perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some stuff that we still need to
We
learn.
went
Yeah.
after specific points of the verse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I
got
definitely
very
do believe we
specific
went
and
through
applied the concepts.
phase 1 to phase 2 seamlessly. Yeah, I feel like it was a nice gradual.
I agree.
It
I'd say
wasn't
so,
bumpy.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
And it's true when Lawrence talks about every human needs belonging, understanding, respect, safety.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It
amazing when
pretty
you
much
apply that.
covers the whole thing.
It does.
Yeah,
It covers
exactly.
every aspect. It's insane how you can. There's so many possibilities for each one.
Yeah.
There's you're gonna find something in common. That
Yeah.
You both kind of
And
work
I like
towards.
the fact that you guys stayed away from like the big issue about the trees and then you guys went to the burst instead. So it kind
What
of
the
got
trees
like
represent.
yeah, it
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
got
Trees
us
represent,
off
yeah,
the
that's
topic.
the
Like, well, you owe me this money because you messed up my landscape.
Mhm.
Something like that.
Instead, it was like,
It was more of like, oh, okay, I understand how you felt threatened and you lost trust because of the whole camera thing.
I think addressing any wrongdoing that both sides have towards each other really helped, like the whole camera issue and the weed killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really opened each other's eyes. Like we're both not completely guilt free here.
yeah, exactly. Like, kind of like
Oh,
opens your eyes, like,
yeah.
well, I guess I'm not completely innocent.
Yeah, right.
Wait.
I was
Yeah.
wrong for doing that.
Well,
When
it
I
even
read
says
the-
like in the DA, like the DA was just like, no, like even the victim isn't really the victim.
Right, exactly.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
I've
I
seen a lot of
know.
Law and
Because I
Order,
read
it's
the
crazy.
thing and it was like weed killer. I was like, that doesn't even seem possible. Like, how
yeah,
can
I know
he
when you
sounded
highlighted
like
weed
just
killer, that was
weed
good.
killer.
Yo,
Yeah.
not tree killer.
You're
No,
like going
like
off
a
about
freaking-
Roundup, and I was like,
it
in the commercial?
sounds like it's around.
I was gonna hum this to the song.
Right.
I think we all.
I know. Exactly.
It's got an holster doing it.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, it's literally Roundup weed killer. You cannot kill
I
plants.
know. You've seen the commercial. Okay.
So talking about movies, I was like,
I know. Were you thinking about it?
Oh yeah, Bruce Lee.
I was about to say
Yeah.
R.I.P. Rest
I
in
think
Alright.
we all did a good job, like deciphering what each action mean, and we did a good job making each other understand that side.
Yes.
So yeah, that was good.
That was
High
good.
five.
That was good. Good job, guys.
Damn.
All right, with that
Bam,
concluded.
bam, bam.